Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Coins Alert channel. This is Rich making another movie about XRP today, as always. I hope everyone is having a great day today, no matter where they are in the world. Let's talk about XRP. Tonight I'm making all of my movies for the weekend. It's Friday night, she will always be a cycle, and I want to help her with that. We are going to walk for 12 hours. I don't think I'll be making XRP content when I get home, but I will definitely make something for Sunday. Here we see XRP, which is worth just under 52 cents on the one-day chart. Take a look at the chart for 1 year. Since April 14th, we've been stuck in this price band. We've been stuck between 50 and 55 cents for that long. Some people are getting really frustrated with that too. However, I want to tell you something very exciting that is about to happen. Everyone knows that it's going to happen this year. Has been granted a payment provider license in Mozambique, which will allow it to grow into Southern Africa. You already know that XRP will use these payment methods in the future. And by the way, if you look at the map, you can see that Ripple is used in almost every country in the world. This is why I said Ripple is now a company that works all over the world. Partners of Ripple are always there. That's why I'm always so excited about where we go next. The Spanish Central Bank has started a third test of its central bank digital currency, this time focused on a digital bond that is issued in Spain. The foundation for both the CBDC and the digital bond will be the same. Thus, Spain's main bank is now. We are now in the third study of CBDC in bulk. Like I said, this is going to happen all over the world. Everyone is moving into the digital age. That's something you need to be ready for. That could make you very rich. This is how Ripple payments work right now, step by step. From now on, providers will have to get XRP from liquidity hubs or the general supply. I think that the escrow will be sucked up by these huge cash pools at first. That being said, they will hit the general supply once the escrow is gone. Large financial firms will buy while you sell. That's how I see XRP going forward. The price of XRP could also go very high because of this. This is what's going to happen. But it's coming together right in front of you. That's what I showed you for 2 years. All of those statements have led us to this point. Learn about Ripple XRP, Ripple tokenized deposits, the basics and the impact. Tokenized bank deposits are a revolutionary way for standard banks and blockchain technology to work together. They are the start of a new era in financial transactions. As banks and companies that make distributed ledger technology work together, they are looking into how commercial and central bank money, as well as e-money, could be controlled on blockchain networks. This collaboration could change the way payments are made forever, adding always-on, programmable, fast transaction settlement features to old payment systems to replace them is the way to get to digital money. As we move forward, crypto and the payment system will join forces. Right here is where Ripple will keep taking Swift's business. Tokenized payments, on the other hand, can save banks. We all know that the banks are having a hard time right now. From here on out, things don't look good. This can make things better at the banks, but all they have to do is let banks hold crypto. It looks like the president turned down that SAB 121 bill now. They probably want the banks to fail. I think that's part of their plan to bring the banks together. Getting them to work with the CBDC will be easy. That's something I've said for a long time. Unrealized losses for banks got worse in the first quarter, after a short period of rate cuts in the first quarter. Since the fourth quarter, unrealized losses on securities owned by commercial banks have grown by 8.1%, adding another $39.0 billion to the total loss of $517 billion. There are 9.4% of 5.47 trillion in securities owned by those banks that are not yet backed by cash. Based on the FDIC's quarterly bank statistics released today for the first quarter, that's why I said Janet Yellen, the banks are not safe even if the Treasury tries to tell you otherwise. Tokenization, which lets banks hold digital assets as well, could solve the problem right away. Just think of the ways they could solve the problem. Think about people going to the bank and being offered crypto from now on, or maybe even stablecoins. They don't want that, though. Ripple wants to bring people who aren't part of the world economy into it. Listen to this. In essence, it's the gateway that lets us connect standard financial markets, which are still stuck in the pre-internet era and full of red tape, to blockchain networks, which are global right away and much more efficient, if you think about it. This very moment, there are assets worth more than $1 quadrillion in the world. It takes days to settle and weeks to get them. 20% of people in the world can't even get to them. Now, think about what it would mean for the world economy in terms of efficiency and everyone's well-being if we could find ways to be 10% more efficient. Take a look at that. Plus, tokenization could help both banks and people who don't have bank accounts at the same time. Before a new financial system comes into being, make sure that everyone in the world has a bank account. They aren't going to make a new scheme that leaves people. behind. It's not going to happen. That's what I think is taking the most time. Putting up tracks in those smaller countries and poor countries as well. But every day there are new reports about new rails opening up in this country or between these two countries. That means we are getting closer. Also, now is a great time to be in crypto. We're lucky to be getting XRP at a low price right now because it's still new. Once it does go live, the price will go through the roof. We're all going to get rich. Ripple payments and digital assets like XRP make international transfers faster, safer, and cheaper. The Vostro method, which was slow, expensive, and full of problems, is replaced by Ripple payments. Do you remember your Vostro accounts? If you have XRP for any nobody has ever told you about Vostro. Ripple always said they would open Vostro, but I think they want to get rid of it. What are they going to put in its place? A lot of liquidity pools. $10 can be spent on each XRP. In this case, you can see XRP, which stands for Ripple, against global transfer markets. It went all the way back. In February 2018, you can see that the world transfer market is worth $27 trillion. And the accounts that Ripple wants to open are the Vostro ones. But it looks like they're changing that story now. Ripple changes the way they look at things. They now just want to get a whole new one. Brad Garlinghouse talks about Vostro here. Listen to this. So give me an example of someone who will use it. We've always said, I don't think banks will be the first customers. You know, we've talked about payment providers, so we've done tests with MoneyGram, Western Union, Mercury FX, Qualix, and a few others. And those are payment companies with huge cash reserves. As an example, let's say you have a payment source that has hundreds of millions of dollars in negative working capital because they brought their own dollars and pesos and put money in the accounts ahead of time. They go to Mexico once a week and wire $10 million to Mexico, taking out money along the way. Now, they fund too much or too little at times. Being able to have real-time funding changes everything. The global pre-funded ties between Nostro and Vostro are worth about $10 trillion. If we can make that more useful and efficient, we can really speed up the engine of trade around the world. At first, I thought it was $27 trillion. Brad said it's worth $10 trillion. That amount may change over time, though, as more cash is needed. You also need to look at the tokenized value that is coming into these networks, which is different from Vostro. That needs to go from A to B too. The market for carbon credits will then start to grow over time. That will also be in the trillions. After that, there will be custody, which will have value. There is worth in facts. The price of XRP will depend on a lot of different factors. At this point, I'm not saying that XRP will reach $10,000 in the next few years. I mean, in the next 2 or 3 years, but I think 5, 8, and 9 are definitely doable. That's because I think that once ISO goes live around the world, Ripple will be able to release all of that cash. And that would make the price go up very quickly. Do I believe we will reach 400 by 2027? We might reach 40 next year. But we don't know for sure. That's why I never ignore what people say when they say what prices will do. For some reason, I always said, let's get to $1 first, but look at how big this is. I wanted to talk about Vostro because it fits with what I've been thinking the whole time. With the liquidity pools and XRP being stuck in those pools, there is a huge demand for XRP. What I mean is that I think we're thinking too small when we look at market cap from past cycles. What I see is much bigger than any story going on around XRP. It seems like everyone is interested in IPOs and ETFs these days. This is what I'm thinking about when it comes to market liquidity and what XRP is useful for. That's where the price goes up. And it's coming because I see new lines being put in place every day. I'm hearing banks talk about Ripple and XRP. I understand how the IMF talks about it and other things. It means that Brad is after all the money. When I tell you to follow the money as an XRP trader, you'll be able to follow the money because Ripple made the right move when they changed direction. As a result, they changed their focus to tokenization.